Saving money can be tough, but new research shows it's especially difficult for millennials.
It is, between the student loans, building credit, and learning how to invest. WSBT-22's Suzanne Spencer found while many of us may need help, not everyone can get it.
Managing student loans, bills, and savings is like a juggling act. Sometimes you get it right.
I actually have a couple of scholarships that I've picked up.
Right now, a lot of state funding is helping.
I still live at home.
And sometimes you mess up.
Eating out is definitely the one that adds up. I always try and cut back on that.
If I get hungry, I get hungry.
What about mom and dad? Did you ever get help from your parents?
Financially, no. Supportively, yes. Of course, if you need a hot meal, you can always go home for a hot meal.
Some millennials do get help from mom and dad.
If I didn't have her, I honestly don't know what I would do.
My parents are here, my grandparents are there. I have other family members to kind of help me out if I need it.
As you know, some millennials get more help from their parents than others. This Gen Forward study found that whites and also Asian Americans are most likely to get help from their parents, followed by 46% of Hispanics and 42% of African Americans.
Many of today's millennials are coming out of homes where it wasn't demonstrated to them, they weren't taught how to save or why to save.
Financial advisor Joshua Gregory often walks millennials through the start of their investing portfolio.
For the first time ever, they're actually making some money, and knowing what to do with it is the big question.
A Gen Forward study found the majority of Americans would struggle paying an unexpected bill of $1,000. 64% of Latinos, 59% of African Americans, 50% of whites, and 39% of Asian Americans would have a tough time coming up with the money.
There's always other priorities beyond just saving and accumulating for our long-term goals. And so every stage of life, not just the millennials that are entering the workforce right now, everyone has to make priority decisions and make savings one of those priorities.
Choosing your priorities is challenging, and balancing is an act.
I definitely try and think of retirement and savings, but it's on the deep back burner right now.
Definitely a juggle, a struggle, but in the end, after having a good career and having those degrees, it's going to pay off eventually.
A couple tips from some financial experts that we talked to. If your employer has a matching 401k program, take advantage of it. Establish a budget early on so you know how much is coming in and how much you can spend, but also build a safety net so that when you have those unexpected expenses, you have something to fall back on.
Sometimes all easier said than done, but the important point in all of this too is that in this study, not all of these people who took part in it wanted to involve their parents in this and go to them.
Yeah, and people admitted to that. They said, I don't want to go to my mom and dad, so for whatever reason that may be. So all the more important to have that nest egg just in case.
Exactly. Good advice, Suzanne. Thanks.